Hello and welcome. I'm Micah, the cosplayer seamstress. Today I will be sewing the skirt and applying the zipper for the medieval poison ivy costume. But before that, remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. The materials I will need for this are black thread, the green satin fabric, the green mesh fabric, the leaf trim, the invisible zipper, the pattern with instructions, scissors, both fabric and paper, a handheld needle, the sewing machine, and the bodice from last week. If you would like to know where I got the pattern, fabric, trim, and zipper, and how much they cost, check out the Medieval Poison Ivy Patterns and Plans video. The next step is to cut the pattern paper. To figure out which pieces I will need, I will reference the pattern. I will need pieces 9, 10, 11, and 12 for the skirt. Once I have determined which pattern pieces I need, I will cut them out using the paper scissors. Remember to never use fabric scissors on paper. After I cut the pattern paper, I will use those pieces to cut out the fabric. You can use the cutting layouts provided in the pattern, or you can make your own layout as long as you follow the instructions on the pattern paper. For example, if you need to cut something on a fold, then you need to remember to cut that on a fold, or if you need to cut two, make sure to cut two. I will be creating my own cutting layout as I tend to run out of fabric if I don't. I will also need to remember to cut notches here as well. I normally mark my dots with fabric chocolator, but none of these pieces have dots that need to be marked. I will also need to remember to cut the mesh fabric. Next, I will set up the machine. If you're not sure how to make a bobbin match your thread or how to thread the machine or bobbin, check out my sewing machine walkthrough video. I will be using mainly black thread on this part, which I know goes against what I've said about matching the fabric and the thread. In this case, I could not find a good green thread to match the fabric, and the black won't stand out as much on this fabric as it would in others. Now I will begin following the instructions. Please know that I will not always follow the directions, and that is okay. To start, I will be sewing the skirt. First, I will pin the wrong side of the mesh fabric to the right side of the satin fabric. Then I will base stitch this in place on all of the edges. This is step 7. Next, I will pin the side pieces to the front piece with the right sides together. Then I will sew this in place. This is step 8. Next, I will cut some more of the leafy green trim to fit the length of the skirt, which I did not film. I will then pin this all in place along the edges. This was hard to do with it hanging, so I just gave up on pinning it. After that, I will hand sew the trim using a whip stitch. This is where I stopped following the instructions a little, as according to the pattern, I was supposed to sew this all the way down and then sew it again on the machine. I found that the leaves would stay in place if I sewed just 1.5 inches, and I was afraid to sew the plastic plants, so I skipped that part as well. This is step 9. Next, I will pin the skirt back to the side back pieces. Then I will sew the fabric together. I will have to do this twice. Next, I will sew these pieces to the main skirt. Again, I will have to do it twice. This is step 10. Then I will pin the skirt to the bodice, which I also did not film. After that, I will sew this all in place. Then I will press the seam up towards the bodice. This is step 11. Now I will begin applying the zipper. The next step was very confusing to me. So first, I will pin the right side of the zipper to the fabric. Then I will hand baste the zipper in place. After that, I will sew this in place with the machine, making sure I have the zipper presser foot attached. This is step 12. Next, I will repeat this whole process on the left side, starting with pinning the zipper in place. Then I will hand baste the zipper. After that, I will machine sew the zipper in place. This is step 13. Next, I will pin the rest of the center back of the skirt together, which I did not film. Then I will sew together with the zipper foot still in place for about 3 inches. After that, I will sew the rest of the center back seam with a straight seam presser foot. This is step 14. The next 2 steps are optional, and as such, I will be skipping them. Congratulations! You now have a lovely dress with the zipper applied. Here's what it looks like on the dress form. If you would like to see how I made the bodice, check out the interfacing bodice video in the Medieval Poison Ivy playlist. If you would like to see how I sew the sleeves, come back next week. Now that you have the skirt and zipper, you are ready for the sleeves. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next project!